Hey everyone, welcome back to Travel and Tales. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Whether you're a returning subscriber or a new viewer, you're welcome here and we really appreciate you. Today, we are taking you on an exciting train journey from Aberystwyth, a lovely town in Wales, all the way to Newcastle in England. Newcastle sits on the northern bank of the River Tyne and is the biggest city in northeast England. We'll be making four major stops: Shrewsbury, Manchester Piccadilly, Leeds, and finally Newcastle. For this trip, we'll be using two train companies. First, Transport for Wales will take me from Aberystwyth to Shrewsbury and then from Shrewsbury to Manchester Piccadilly. For those who don't know, Transport for Wales is a publicly owned train company that manages 248 stations and operate most of the passenger train services within Wales, as well as some of the cross into England. From Manchester Piccadilly, I'll switch to Transpennine Express train, which will take me to Leeds and then on to Newcastle. Transpennine Express runs regional and intercity services across northern England and into Scotland. So buckle up. This is going to be a scenic journey through Wales and northern England, with some amazing views and a few surprises along the way. Our journey starts in Aberystwyth, a beautiful coastal town in Wales. Right now, we are on Transport for Wales train heading to Shrewsbury. The train's really comfortable, plenty of space, free Wi-Fi, and the views of the Welsh countryside are absolutely stunning. Rolling green hills, farms, sheep. It's the perfect picture of rural Wales. I'm also amazed by how much tree cover there is here. I've done this part of the trip before, and it never gets old. Whether it's misty or sunny, the scenery is always breathtaking. Fun fact: Aberystwyth used to be one of the busiest spots in Wales. It's hard to imagine that now, with how peaceful and quiet it feels today. This leg of the journey takes around 2 hours, but it goes by quickly when you're surrounded by such incredible views. We'll be arriving in Shrewsbury soon, which is an important railway hub for trains heading all over England. And right now, with the September intake happening, there are a lot of students traveling, so most of the trains are packed. And here we are at Shrewsbury. This station is a major hub connecting the Midlands, the North, and even part of Wales. It's got a lot of character. If you've never been here, it's definitely worth a stop. Today, it's a bit chilly, and most people I'm seeing are bundled up, trying to stay warm. But you always spot that one person braving the cold in just a t-shirt. How do they do it? I don't think I'll ever get used to the cold here, especially coming from warmer climates. But hey, maybe I'll figure it out eventually, or just keep layering up. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hop onto the next train, and we are off to Manchester. Now we are heading into England. I'm still on Transport for Wales, and the scenery changes quite a bit as we move through the border from Wales to England. This section of the trip is about an hour and a half, and it's more urban as we get closer to Manchester. By the way, Manchester Piccadilly is one of the busiest stations in the UK, and you can definitely feel the hustle and bustle as soon as you arrive. It's a big shift from the quieter Welsh countryside, but I love the energy of big stations like this. All right, we've just boarded the Transpennine Express from Manchester to Leeds. Now, this service is great, fast, comfortable, and the staff are always friendly. Plus, this part of the journey is where things get really scenic again. We are crossing the Pennines here, which is an absolute treat for the eyes. You've got those rolling hills, deep valleys, and if you're lucky like us today, you'll even get to see the sun cutting through the clouds. It's not a long trip, just under an hour to Leeds, but you'll want to stay glued to the window. The rugged beauty of northern England really shines on this part of the journey. And now, on to the final leg of the journey, Leeds to Newcastle. I've changed trains, still on the Transpennine Express, and we're heading further north. As we get closer to Newcastle, it's getting darker outside, so you can't really see much of the landscape now. Earlier, though, we passed a mix of industrial areas and open countryside, which gave such an interesting contrast. Newcastle has a strong industrial heritage, and even in the dark, you can feel the city's presence growing as we approach. I'm really excited to explore more once I get there. And here we are, Newcastle. What an incredible journey it's been. From the peaceful, rolling hills of Wales, through the rugged Pennines, and finally arriving in the industrial charm of Newcastle. I hope you all enjoyed the ride as much as I did. And guess what? It's just started raining as you arrive. Maybe that's a sign of true northern welcome. Now, we are heading out of the station to grab a taxi to our accommodation for the night. And tomorrow, we'll be exploring all that Newcastle has to offer. Can't wait to show you more. If you've ever traveled this route, or if you're planning to, drop a comment below and let me know about your experience. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to Travel and Tales for more stories and adventures. See you in the next video.